Kia ora everyone, welcome to my kitchen. For today's recipe, I'm going to make a rhubarb and ginger spelt cake. The reason I'm making this is because one of my friends gave me a whole pile of rhubarb and I thought, oh, I need to do something with this. So I did a quick search on the recipe database and this recipe came out to me and I thought, wow, that looks really good. So, just before I get started, I'm just going to tell you guys I've got a confession to make. A couple of days ago I was asked by one of my friends, how many times do I practice a recipe before I record it? And I can tell you that for 99.9% of everything you see me doing in video, it is the very first time I've made that recipe. And I kind of figured with guided cooking, all you have to do is follow the instruction, hit the next button, and the Thermomix is pre-programmed for the next step. So, you know, what can go wrong? So yet again, this is one of the recipes that I've never made before in my life, but let's give it a go. Let's start. So I've got my oven preheating to 180 degrees. I have greased a 22 centimetre spring form baking tin. So, next step is to add 200 grams of almonds into the bowl. I've already pre-weighed these. And I'm just going to chop these down for 10 seconds, so it's going to get a bit loud. Alrighty. And pretty much what we have here is almond meal. So I'm just going to put my almond meal straight into the bowl. And this is a lot cheaper than buying almond meal from a supermarket. Right. How easy was that? So into my bowl now, I'm going to add 30 grams of fresh root ginger, and the root ginger's just been cut into little pieces. "30 grams of light brown sugar, the skin of one orange, so I've just used a vegetable peeler to peel my orange. That's going straight in there. Putting the lid on. And we're now going to run for 4 seconds and we're going to do our first mill. I'm going to do this step 3 times. Okay, it's our 3 times done. So what we've got now is just basically a finely grated, really yummy smelling mixture. So I'm going to tare my scales, and next step I'm going to add 80 grams of butter that's been diced. "220 grams of spelt flour. I'm using white spelt flour, but you could use wholemeal if you liked. 190 grams of brown sugar, my ground almonds. Half a teaspoon of salt. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. One and a half teaspoons of ground ginger. Put the lid on, and this is now going to mix for 20 seconds. Scrape down the sides. Going to crack into the mixture 2 large eggs. I'm using size 8 eggs. And now I'm going to add 200 grams of milk. And 50 grams of orange juice. Awesome. Put the lid back on. We're going to mix this now for 10 seconds. Okay, so the next instruction, oh, that smells really yummy, guys, it's quite orangey, is to pour 1/3 of the mixture into our baking tin. So what I've got in this bowl is 300 grams of my rhubarb. So my rhubarb I've just peeled to get rid of the little stringy bits on the outside, and I've just roughly cut it into pieces, probably about 1 centimetre high. So my instruction now is to put half of my rhubarb into the cake mixture. So that's about 150 grams. Okay, and the next step is put my second third of my cake mixture on top. And then I'm going to pour the last of my cut rhubarb, just place that on top. And then on top of that, I'm just going to pour the last of my mixture. Alrighty, so this is my cake ready to go into the oven. This is now going to bake at 180 degrees for between 60 and 70 minutes, or under a wooden skewer put in the middle, comes out clean. The instructions say that if it gets a bit dark on top while it's cooking, so about halfway through you can put a piece of tin foil over it just to protect the top. Wow, so just taking my cake out of the oven, this looks and smells really, really yummy. So the instructions are to let it cool in the tin for 10 minutes before you put it out on a wire cake rack, and then let it go warm and then serve. I can't wait for this to be ready, but I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe, and if nothing else, go make yourself a cake. See you later.